The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Straight ahead this evening, Dame Janet Bostwick says the Free National Movement has an uphill climb if they want to win the next general election, but it's not impossible. We hear more from Dame Janet coming up in tonight's show. Also, it's Week in Review Fridays, and so what do we have coming up for you? Prime Minister Davis defending the integrity of the Bahamian passport, and we all remember it's been in the news basically since last week and this week. That's the Grand Bahama Port Authority and its standoff against the government. Well, we're going to revisit that town hall meeting that happened in Grand Bahama earlier this week. And a bit later tonight, we also have a new segment for you, a little fun on a Friday, just to cause us all, just to put a smile on our faces. And it is called Fresh Off the Campaign Feed. You get it? Yeah, the candidates and incumbents have been very busy on TikTok in particular, and they've been really getting the people's attention, causing people to smile and also endearing themselves to you, the Bahamian public. We talk about that. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. Week in Review Fridays. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Dame Janet Bostwick, a former cabinet minister and senior government official, is weighing in on the party that, of course, she helped to bring into victory at one point, the Free National Movement. Dame Janet says the Free National Movement has an uphill battle if they are to win the next general election. We get the story tonight from Laurencia Smith.
I think they have a strong chance to win. I think it is an uphill fight.
That's Dame Janet Bostwick offering her assessment of the Free National Movement as the party heads into the 2026 general election. The veteran politician has long been a strong supporter of the party, having represented the FNM in Parliament for the Yamacross seat from 1982 until she lost in her re-election bid in 2002. In recent times, there have been reports of alleged internal divisions within the party. However, Bostwick told a local daily in the past that the FNM must unite if it hopes to defeat the Progressive Liberal Party. When asked whether she believes the party is united, she says majority of the members are.
I think there is a small percentage which have decided to go outside the party, and that is not good. It's always better that you have unity. We do not have unity, but do we have a force which can be effective and which will be effective? We do have that.
During the snap election, the FNM secured 7 seats. Since then, that number has dropped to 6 after Iram Lewis joined forces with the Coalition of Independents. Meanwhile, Kalani MP Dr. Hubert Minnis, although still listed as an FNM MP, has announced that he will be running as an independent. Dame Janet says the former leader is executing his right to make his own choice.
That he has decided to do that. But it is his decision to make. Dr. Minnis made great contributions to our party and to the country. I hope that whatever he does not in any way uh, take away from the legacy which he has created.
And as the country moves closer to the next general election, some political voices suggest that the FNM may have lost part of its base. Dame Janet argues that the caucus has not lost its base.
Its base has been affected, but at the same time, it has gained support. And so we have to see what happens. But I think it is in a good position to contest this election and to, in fact, be effective and to win the election.
Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, there we heard it, Dame Janet. Of course, she's been member of parliament for the constituency of Yamakoro for, I think, all her political life and served in many different levels in terms of cabinet ministers, including Attorney General, Minister of Foreign Affairs even. And so, of course, she when you hear her thoughts and her views, you pay attention because here's somebody who knows what she speaks. Well, we are going to, can you please turn that off, whatever that is right there? Thank you. We're going to get into it right there this evening. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Beyond the Headlines contributors, Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson. Good evening to both of you all. And hey, happy Weekend Review Friday evening, guys.
Well, good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you once again for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Evening, Shanique. Evening, Bahamas. Pleasure.
Yes, you all, what do you make of Dame Janet Bostwick? Dame Janet Bostwick, who says, listen, admittedly, yes, the FNM has a real fight on their hands, but it isn't a fight that is impossible.
Well, Shanique, Dame Janet Bostwick is a giant of a woman in the landscape of Bahamian politics. She's made a tremendous contribution. She is, like you said earlier, she's one of the persons that helped and assisted to usher the Free National Movement into victory in 1992, along with former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram. I would want to hope that Dame Janet Bostwick is one of those unifying voices at this juncture that can pull the Free National Movement together, that can pull the various players together and cause there to be some kind of unison, some kind of cohesion within the party. And then if that can happen, yes, and I've said it before, you can't count the Free National Movement out. They have been here before, and if the right unifying voice comes to pull them together, they can pull it off, regardless to what they look like now. I've seen them come from the shambles, from the ashes at the last hour and pull off victory over a progressive Liberal Party that was doing a pretty good job at one point in time, to the point where all of the world was wondering what happened or why Bahamian made that choice. And so yes, Dame Janet is correct. If the Free National Movement can come together, can unify itself, if she can be one of those unifying voice along with some of the other former leaders, founders of the Free National Movement, it can happen.
No, Dame Janet Bostwick and I was elected together in 1987. She won for Yamakoro. She's been a steadfast supporter of the Free National Movement all her life from East Street, where she was born, on the corner there by next door to Scotia Bank. She's made a contribution to the country. She was Minister for Attorney General at one time. I guess she sees what the playing field is like. She wishes now to step in and make a contribution. Mm-hmm. The problem with the FNM right now is leadership. They don't have anyone on the caliber of the Right Honourable Hubert Ingram. No one has been able to step to the plate, and they have a dire shortage of good men and women to lead them into this next election. There's no doubt the PLP is going to win the next election. 32 to 34 seats. Now she could dream what she want to dream, but it ain't going to happen.
But you heard her say, Leslie, and you admitted she is right and spot on. Ellington, you as well. So you heard her say, listen, yeah, it's a fight. We all see it. You're right. You see certain things that you say, but she said it's not impossible. You and Leslie, but you said, wait a minute, Dame Janet, before you go too fast and too far, leadership is the issue. What is it something that Michael Pintard cannot just make sort of this? Because guess what? Anybody can be remade and represented
in 2 months?
In overnight.
What do you do? This ain't no movie, I know he's an actor. You can dress him up as a leader and push him out there.
Yeah, but
that ain't happen.
Leslie, if I may remind you though, it was about 2 months or so when Michael Scott and the likes of him and others said Menace ain't had enough electricity to kill a fly.
Yeah.
Hubert Ingram stepped on the stage and the money began to flow into the Free National Movement, and the rest was history. Hubert Minnis, and the rest was history. They say Hubert Minnis ain't had enough electricity to electrocute a fly.
At that time,
Here
the country...
we had Hubert Minnis ascend to the office of Prime Minister.
At that time, no, I wouldn't say that. The country was in a tough position, the PLP. People were raising hell about the PM, Christie, on his administration, and they voted us out.
Now, you're right about that. I think one of the things that stands out that will be a problem
Mr. Davis
for the
don't have that
Free National
problem.
Movement, I was about to say, whether Mr. Davis is a more likable person, whether the country at large,
Very
people
much
at
so.
large, gravitate towards Mr. Davis, and that in a lot of our election is where our parties rise and fall. How likable the leader is at that particular time, and so that also is a challenge that the FNM has to surmount.
Great challenge. Great challenge.
Very interesting. Well, I'll tell you, you all called his name a minute ago. So Dame, listen, she didn't. She came to talk tonight. So she also spoke about Dr. Hubert Minnis, and you know the FNM said, "Man, come on, man, Dr. Minnis. You first of all, you've been Prime Minister. You've been elected and re-elected 4 times, trying to look for a 5th. You have been to the mountaintop. What more you want? Step down. Be a team player. Help this FNM out." Well, guess what she said, gentlemen? Minnis has every right to want to contest the seat and seek re-election if he so desires. What do you make of that?
But my thing is, she is absolutely correct. My thing is, if this was about playing, being a team player, and you looking to win the next general election, here is somebody that fine. He's not going to be prime minister. He has already proven himself to be able to win in this constituency. He still has the love and the support of this constituency. Let's go on. Team player, Minnis, we need you. We got this seat. You hold that one down. We're going to go ahead and get the rest of the seat across the country. Why create a war with this individual? And Janet is right. He has every right to run. He's running as an independent. Not that he left the party. He was forced out of the party, and so he's running as an independent.
Again, it goes back to leadership. Here she is saying that Mr. Minnis, Dr. Minnis, I respect him, he should run again. Well, that has been destroyed by Mr. Pintard, eh? So forget that. Pintard, he didn't give a second thought when he go to sleep at night. But you have a situation yesterday where the chairman of the Free National Movement, Mr. Sands, says that their man for Monterey will be running. And despite what has happened with the...
You're talking about Marvin Dames?
Marvin Dames will be their candidate. They're happy to have him. That's another burden that they have to face. I love Mr. Dames, very nice man. I consider a friend. But, you know, to carry that weight around, but what took place with the guy, he's changed his mind now. He said he's pleading guilty. Okay? That's another
the
load
gentleman
that
who
they're
was
going to have to
arrested?
carry
But I
into
thought
the
the
general
gentleman,
election.
I thought initially
Initially,
he
he
said
did
it's-
plead not guilty, which is pretty much what happens when people go to court. They
He
plead
plead
not
guilty
guilty
first.
until
He
they have a
admitted-
conversation with their
he
lawyers.
admitted- he
That's what he said
Yes,
first.
at first he
He's
said...
like, he carried the load.
At first he said, listen, it's only him. Nobody
That's what he
else
said.
in town. It's just
Yes.
him, his actions, his package, and all the rest of
That's
that.
what he said.
Everything is him, no one else involved.
Yep. Then when he realized he was going to serve at least 100 years, he changed his mind now. And now he come back and say, so we shall see what happens. It's just, listen, as I said before, in politics, perception is reality. I believe that Mr. Dames is a decent man. I've known him very many, over 40 years. Always been a good human being. And it's one of those things where he got caught up in an incident like this at this time, at this juncture, when the election is just perhaps 2 months away. I think it'll be very difficult for them to hold on. But Mr. Sands says that he's their man and he will be running. He's
That
the
he will be
candidate.
running. Ellington, your
God
thoughts
bless him.
about that? Leslie obviously his tone says he feels Dame shouldn't run. But why should Dame step down when his name really isn't being called in anything? The only thing he admitted to, that's his business partner.
Right. Look, Leslie, I've known Dames for a long time. As a matter of fact, in Donald Davis, he was just one class ahead of us.
Sure.
But Dames does not have to step down. One of the things that Leslie mentioned just now, perception is reality. This politics, even people who know that Marvin Dames probably had nothing to do with that, is going to ride that throughout this campaign.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a monkey on Dames and the
is.
Free National Movement's back. And I think that can prevent him, as innocent as I even believe that he is in this ordeal, can prevent him from securing a victory in the general election.
This is Beyond the Headlines. We're going to take a break and come back with much more on this Week in Review Friday right after this. Stay close.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokes model, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! Help! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, presses you, and entertains you 24/7.
The Fox Foundation proudly presents the keynote speaker for the 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, this March 19th at 7 p.m. at the beautiful Bahama Resort. Get ready to be inspired by Randy Zuckerberg, tech innovator and the creator of Facebook Live. She revolutionized real-time digital engagement, empowering individuals and brands to broadcast instantly to global audiences. And now she brings that innovation and insight to the Fox Foundation's 3rd Annual Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, March 19th at 7 p.m. at the Bahama Resort. Under this year's theme, Give to Gain, join us for a night designed to inspire growth, spark opportunity, and strengthen the future of women in business.
Play for fun, not for funds.
In the Bahamas, we play hard, but we live smart.
We love a little competition.
A little excitement, a little thrill.
And at Idle Luck, gaming is all about entertainment.
Shared moments, celebrating the wins, and enjoying the experience.
The key is simple. Play for fun, not for funds. When you set a budget before you start,
and know your limits, you stay in control.
And when you're in control, the game stays what it's meant to be.
Fun. So play for fun, not for funds.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
103.5 is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by the Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, $30. VIP, $75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Yeah, listen, you all, during the break, we got into the passport argument, and here's it. So let's pick it up right from there quickly. Amid all of this, you see Ellington, that's Ellington and Leslie, you here, talking about that, and as many of you are as well, people are angry about the fact that these fraudulent cases. Now, you remember this week I had Nicholas Simonet, the chief passport officer, on the show. We'll hear from him. Man. But yes, he is. But first, here is Linton Ritchie with the Prime Minister vowing that the passport remains a document of great integrity.
Prime Minister Philip Davis insisting that there's no threat to the credibility of the Bahamian passport. This despite a number of recent court cases involving foreign nationals found with fraudulent passports and other government identification documents. Eyewitness News asked the nation's leader whether the growing number of fraud cases is a cause for concern and if such schemes could damage the passport's international reputation.
I don't think it's a threat per se, because the amount that we are talking about has not been that great.
Earlier this month, 2 Haitian nationals, ages 18 and 59, were remanded to prison after one of the men was caught at the country's main gateway with a fraudulent passport in February. Prosecutors also alleged that the same document was used to obtain a false voter registration card. In a separate matter, a man already before the courts on sexual assault charges involving 2 teenage schoolgirls is also being prosecuted for allegedly obtaining a fraudulent NIB smart card and driver's license. And in February, another Haitian national was sentenced to 2 years in prison after admitting to possession of a false passport along with a fraudulent voter's registration card and NIB smart card. With multiple people now charged and some already sentenced, the Prime Minister says authorities are actively dealing with the issues.
We are troubled, and I know that the police has taken note of this, and they are looking at how best to defend against this.
Still, questions remain about how these documents continue to be obtained and whether there are gaps within the system.
That has an element of deceit. And the perpetrators are engaging in it to ensure that you don't discover it. And that's why sometimes it takes longer to figure it all out.
But as more fraud cases emerge in the courts, the bigger question for many is whether the system designed to protect these documents is strong enough to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Now, on Wednesday evening, after all of this was happening, because this is one of those emotive topics this election season, any season really, but in particular this election season, I invited the Chief Passport Officer here on the show. Here's some of what he had to say.
So the book itself have very stringent security features embedded in it, and those features change on a regular basis every 90 days. And the security regime in those books are governed by ICAO. The Bahamas right now is up to date on all standards. I think the only change we'll be making in the next 5 years in terms of ICAO regulations, requirements, would be changing some of the letters in it, right? So in all books, all e-passport books, there are certain requirements ICAO have, and just they're changing some of the codes of the letters. But those are minor fixes. In terms of the security and the keys that exist, we are compliant. We should be good until there's a next update in terms of ICAO regulations. But the standard that we're at, a lot of countries have to catch up to. So in that regards, I think we are in a great place. And I think that we have to ensure, we as Bahamians and all citizens of this country, we have to ensure that we do our parts. Because we put a lot of cases before the courts after we investigate based on tips. We don't need to know who provided us with the tip. We just need to know the information.
Right.
You send it to us, we look at it, and if it's fraud, we send it to the police.
Right. I want to ask you this as we are about to wrap up. There's also an issue. You all heard that. That's Friday evening, Leslie in Ellington. So I'll tell you that the passport office is doing its job. Now, of course, we know the fraud happens at varying levels before it even gets there. Your thoughts on what the Prime Minister had to say, and then the Chief Passport Officer?
Shanique, I appreciate the Prime Minister speaking to the integrity of the passport. I think we do not want it to come to the point where it's in jeopardy. And we really want to see some stricter legislation. I want to see it at least 20 years, and then you could give plea bargain, because what we want the bigger fish. I know you have this fraudulent passport. I want to know how you get this, who you went to that gave you this. And I understand and I see what the passport officer said, the gentleman. I think, and I have the greatest appreciation for him and what he is saying. But
You're trying to say get to the smuggling rings.
Yes,
get to those rings.
That is what I want to disrupt, okay? And people who are preparing these documents, see, because they could come to the passport office with documents that have already been made up and obtain a passport according to what you may say legally, but really they shouldn't have it because the documents that they bring were falsified and all that, so that they can get it. So I want to disrupt the smuggling rings that is giving people our passport. The passport is a sacred document of this country.
I saw a story, gentlemen, saying $10,000 at a time.
And that is enough money to entice the average one of persons working in these offices. And so these things is what we must interrupt. We must make sure that staff and employees know that this is what the sentence is. We're not playing with it. Anybody we find with it, this is what you're going to get.
Listen, you know, this passport thing is a dangerous and damning thing that Bahamians are very concerned about. I've been on the road now, Dave and I, with candidates over the last 18 months. And we sped it up now. And just with every corner you go through, people are concerned. Mr. Miller, how these people getting our passport? They got one Haitian fella named, a big guy live in Miami. I think that CIA must have got him over there. Vitalis, whatever the hell his name. He's calling himself the voice of the Bahamas. The goddamn Haitian is the voice of the Bahamas, right? It bothers me. He's the voice of the Bahamas. A Haitian. Okay? Yes, in the newspapers today, A Haitian, they said, a Haitian national. I'm assuming a Haitian national is not a damn Bahamian, right? Now, I mean, is that right or what? A Haitian national
is not a Bahamian.
Is not a Bahamian.
I think we call everybody a something
No,
national.
they said he's a Haitian national, 46 years old.
I think he has
Caught
Bahamian document.
with a fraudulent passport.
Yes.
And yesterday the man got $9,000 bail. How's that possible?
What is wrong with that gentleman?
Why the hell you could take my passport that belonged to me as a Bahamian citizen? That's the only thing I got in my life to say that I'm a Bahamian. And you could let him get away with $9,000. And he's still on bail.
But he gets
He's
it from a
supposed to go to
Bahamian.
prison
$9,000.
until that case comes up. It shouldn't come up for the next 3 years. Send him to jail for 20 years and get him out of here.
So when we get serious is what
Get him out of here.
is when we get serious
Yes.
is what y'all saying.
Get him out of
Because
here.
we cannot treat the document lightly.
Huh?
We cannot treat the, I agree, we cannot treat the document
what's
lightly.
going on, man?
And when we get serious is when they will stop.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know, fraud, let it stop. But you understand.
$9,000? The man with our passport?
And
on bail?
The
to do it
penalty.
again?
The penalty must make one to resist the temptation
Exactly.
of the benefits. That's what I
And
recommend.
this guy said, he said, when you leave immigration office on Hawkins Hill and go down the road and go to the place on the left, the JP and then people on the left, that's where he got his passport from. See, his mother brought him back from Haiti when he got deported from the States.
So then
bought
now-
his passport on the damn place right there on Monroe Avenue.
So right next to
right down the
immigration,
road.
That's where you get
From Monroe Avenue.
See, and this is where the scam.
Come on, man.
And this is
Get 'em off your ass.
this is where the racket is happening. You understand? It's a racket.
Okay.
Did you all not see the headline where Ellington? I don't know if you sent it to me or someone did about this woman. $10,000 she charges to get you sorted out.
Okay,
Yes.
so what's she doing here?
$10,000.
Yes.
What's she doing here?
I think she's Bahamian.
What's she doing in the Bahamas?
I think-
Bahamian my ass. Get out of here. If she's Bahamian,
In fact,
send her to Haiti.
In fact, no, I think she
Send her
worked
to
at-
Haiti.
I
The
think she
Bahamian,
wor-
send her over there.
I think she worked at immigration.
So, then send her ass to Haiti too. Send her to Haiti.
You know?
We got to stop this, man.
No, it's vexing. It is.
Bahamians, we got to stop selling our
Get him out of
accents.
here.
No, it is
Yes,
vexing.
Bahamian, you sell him. Go right. That's the passport you sell. Go to that country. Get out of here.
Yeah.
We got to stop it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our birthright you selling, man.
Absolutely.
The hell is this? That's all God give us.
Another emotive topic this week, and we wouldn't go to the story because we have played enough stories and talked about this enough. I just want to bring this up because it's Week in Review Friday. You all paid attention to that town hall meeting that happened in Grand Bahama at the Belinda Wilson Center,
Very interesting.
where the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, members of Parliament, but listen, Grand Bahamians packed the place.
Absolutely.
It shows that this issue interests them and that they are vested. They want to know exactly how this sort of, I guess, what should be a brand new Hawksbill Creek agreement or a Grand Bahama Port Authority, how should that look and be massaged to be presented moving forward to better serve Freeport and Grand Bahama? Your thoughts about that town meeting?
I think the town meeting and what came out of the arbitration helps the Prime Minister and the government of the Bahamas going forward to realize that the authority still rests with them. Do what you have to do to make it better for Grand Bahamian people. Grand Bahamian was enthused. They like what is happening, what is being played out, and they want the needle to be moved in their direction.
Listen, you know, I said on Steve McKinney's show when we were campaigning 5 years ago that same Philip Brave Davis was going to be the next Lyndon Pinton of the Bahamas. I said it because he had the guts to say we either go to court or we're going to go to arbitration.
That's some heavy lifting.
He went to arbitration. He won. I don't care what the opposition talking about. You didn't win. Everybody break. There's no such thing as breaking even. The Port Authority won one. That's it. You don't have to pay the $357 million. The rest was taken back. I tell you, in the 60s, Bahamians couldn't reside in Grand Bahama after 10 o'clock. Black Bahamians had to move out. Out of the city limits.
So, gentlemen, would you all think when Michael Pintard, leader of the opposition, said, listen, no, the Hawksbill Creek Agreement does not need to be, first of all, done away with.
That's what all Toms do.
Revised or revisited.
That's what Toms do. They want to bow to the white man at every gesture.
Leslie, but the white man is Bahamian. The white man,
That's
Rupert
nothing to do
Hayward.
with the glam color of his skin. He's Bahamian. So he's Bahamian, so what? I'm Bahamian too, I black. Or, I can go
think,
for half white
Shanique, and
if I want to.
I have seen the leader of the opposition made some adjustment in his position,
has.
even as this began to play out, and I'm sure he's going to make some further
After he started
adjustment
getting
because
attacked by his constituents in Grand Bahama.
he's going to make some further adjustment to that.
He had to
Because
change.
the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, we cannot continue with business as usual. These persons that are on the scene are not Sir Jack Hayward and Edward St. George. They don't have that passion for the development and growth of Grand Bahama Freeport like those men do. And so there has got to be some stuff that the government have got to step in, use its power as a government, as the sovereign government, which the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and all of them come on.
But the Grand Bahama Port Authority don't have any more assets.
No.
They sold off all the damn assets over the last 20 years. Yeah. It's a shell company. And Brave Davis is the only one who had the guts to say enough is enough. He lived in Freeport for about 10 years, you know. He circuit court judge down there and a lawyer. He saw what happened. He know what needed to be done. And I'm telling you, when the history of this country is written 20, 30 years from now, he's going to be put in the same paragraph and the same sentence as Lyndon Pinland, Ada Hanna, Paul Adney, Carlton Francis, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield, and other great ones that stepped to the plate and did what needed to be done on behalf of the people.
People of Freeport is waiting with bated breath.
Mark my word.
They absolutely are. But
Mark
listen,
my word.
Gentlemen, I want to shift gears for a moment. This has happened, and it's making quite the impression and the buzz all over the place. A community empowerment center has been activated, serving as a centralized area for resources and resilience. Jose Etienne picks up the story from here.
What community is this?
You will see.
A new community hub aimed at empowering residents of Fort Charlotte is now open on Farrington Road. Prime Minister Philip Davis and other government officials were among scores of constituents, party supporters, and loved ones present as they all beamed with excitement, witnessing a major milestone for one of their own. The mastermind behind the project, PLP candidate for Fort Charlotte, His Excellency Sebas Bastian.
Hope has a permanent address. Welcome to the Fort Charlotte Technology, Arts, and Culture Center.
Bastian says this new center will unlock the potential for those who will take advantage of a major initiative that's now within reach.
Because Fort Charlotte never lacked talent. Fort Charlotte never lacked resilience. Fort Charlotte never lacked determination. But every community needs a space where potential finds direction.
Shortly after the ribbon cutting, officials got a chance to see the finished product for themselves. But here's the catch. What they saw is just phase one of a project that will blossom even further.
We will learn digital skills that will prepare them for the next technology-driven world. Young people will have access to computers, mentorship, and academic support that will help them move confidently towards their goals. Entrepreneurs will find guidance, resources, and a space to develop the businesses that will strengthen our local economy.
Work for Phase 2 will begin in July, and Bastian says its completion will make the overall center bigger and better.
In Phase 2, we will introduce advanced technology labs that will prepare residents for career in digital industries, a culinary arts academy that will support hospitality and entrepreneurship, a fitness center that will promote wellness, and a modern co-working and meeting space that will give entrepreneurs the environment they need to innovate and grow.
Today was a proud moment, not just for the aspiring Member of Parliament, but for the outgoing representative, Alfred Sears, who expressed confidence in the man who he's passing the baton to.
I am pleased and grateful that I was here at this moment to give an endorsement to someone who is ready for this time. And Sebas, I want to say that I am so proud of the work that you have done.
As it relates to the project itself, Sears encouraged residents to embrace it while touting the constituency building that once stood tall on Boyd Road in the heart of Fort Charlotte. And that was built, he says, by those who ran with the party's vision.
In 1986, the money that they had raised purchased the building on Boyd Road for the first community center owned by the people in Fort Charlotte.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, I've been seeing that trend online. I mean, really since yesterday, overnight, this morning, saw that trend there. Many people think it's a great idea. I even saw I don't know how many days a week, but women as well, seniors as old as 95 years old are having an opportunity to go and exercise, and just that community feel really, really just wonderful there. So listen, now it's time for our new segment. And perhaps Mr. Bastian is in this segment as well. But fresh off the campaign feed, every Friday, whether it's one, whether it's a handful of them, we'll be looking at what the candidates are doing on social media. Yes, Leslie. What the
woman get him when that was supposed to go to court today now.
Who is?
COI.
Leslie, who's supposed to go to court?
The woman ain't get her money yet. I just remember that. Can't get voice lie, you holler, but she ain't cash the check. If you got a cashier's check and come out of your account, you ain't gonna never know if she cashed the check because it ain't your money no more. He hasn't given the woman no money.
So there's a court. Well, I wonder if I don't know if the news
supposed to be today.
Okay. We'll see if the news look at it and cover it. Then we'll see. Well,
Lincoln have millions of dollars, Leslie. Lincoln can pay that. Huh? Don't worry about it.
Lincoln could buy you a good meal at Burger King on a good day.
Let's go, Justin. Fresh off the campaign feed. Let's see exactly what you come up with first.
This is how we do it. This is my assistant right here. The neighborhood, man. The neighborhood's getting together and helping, doing their part. This is what it's all about. This is my assistant. We're going to get this done. We're taking up all the little bags that we packed up, that we claimed as major yard, parliament yard. So those are the bags. So my assistant's helping me put them in the trash. That's how we do it, Freetown. All the way.
There, so we started with that Justin thing. Listen, they're going to figure this out in the back there, right? So that is who you saw was in Freetown, Andrew Blue Johnson, the independent candidate. Gentlemen, we have seen him working. He's been really in the middle of a whole cleanup campaign for Freetown, and really they're trying to get the area clean and drive home the message that listen, this is important for y'all. Let's keep this area clean. Now, again, these are images and videos and storylines, and some of them funny, some of them like that, daring and bringing the community along. Just a whole lot of things that's happening this political season. Let's look at another one, Justin.
Today is Thursday. It's hot dog day. Angus beef, baby. Today we're featuring a new product, 100% juice, that's healthy and good for your immune system, for your digestion, and for your lungs, and to cleanse your liver. So today, I want you to speak with
Miss Kimmy Roberts.
Tell us about your juice, Miss Roberts.
Well, my juice is called Healthy Start. I have a beets juice, I have an orange juice.
So, gentlemen, there you see it now. You all know him. You know what he went viral for to begin with. That is Dr. Nicholas Fox.
He ain't had no break-ins lately.
No.
You know, he's have a break-in every.
No, he does. Listen, I know he does. He
breaking the down building himself.
He said break-ins.
Break-in.
Leslie.
Dr. Fox say get your juice.
Pick up an item because
Come
if I have
get
to slap
your
Leslie.
Juice. The doctor is promoting health.
Health and wellness.
And listen, these guys is on a move. They're on a roll. Blue wouldn't stop cleaning up. Blue was on the ground before most of them. Okay, let me put that one out there. And doctors now saying, get your fresh fruit juice.
But he's also there, as you saw, promoting someone's business in Fox. This lady.
That's an addition. He's promoting some healthy products, and he's promoting one of his local residents' business, more than likely a resident. And I think it's a good thing. And hey, fresh off the campaign trail, I think there's a lot of buzz going on. Dr. Fox is making sure that you all don't forget about him.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's a big fight in Foxville.
It is.
But believe me, Mr. Fred Mitchell is ready for that one. He will win up there.
We will absolutely see that.
My two precious grandsons, Daddy, is working hard in Camp Road, but we got to go up there tomorrow. So.
You in Freetown tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, who you going to be walking with?
Blue. I can hail him. But I
Justin.
I got to walk with my cousin.
Oh, wait. So you got your cousin and your aunt. Okay, yes. Okay, then.
You got a lot going on.
A whole lot going on in Freetown.
Got to walk with my cousin.
Justin, who else do you have here?
Dave and I.
Here we wrapped it up, where we are able to touch almost 100 homes throughout Central and South Luther of persons of roofs that were damaged or had other issues in regards to structure. So we're excited about this initiative.
The Lord sent this man along. Because I never thought that nobody would remember me. But my timing was not God's timing. So the time they came, I believe that was God's timing. I appreciate what he done for me. And anytime he need my help, I'm willing to do it. Praise be to the good man.
Well, there you have that one there, that Central and South Eleuthera clay sweeping. Again, we just at random pick this stuff because the candidates are, 90% of them are doing so amazingly well on social media. I have said it before, social media will determine exactly, not necessarily maybe how you vote, but yes, quite frankly, it's pulling people in, it's getting people to know them on a different level. Your thoughts on clay sweeping and what to the fact that here he is, taking the time to look out for the seniors in his area.
Yep. I tell you, I've always had this great concern for Clay Sweeting in his great fight. You know, he had this big portfolio of the Ministry of Works, and then he had these issues where the power wasn't good, so the power was affecting the water, and Eleuthera had all of these issues, and I saw Clay kept working, he kept at it, he never stayed away from his people, he never shied away from his people, and now you see him continuing doing things for his people. Kudos to Clay Sweeting. I think he's a very good member of Parliament. I support Clay Sweeting.
He's a wonderful young man, and really has done a stellar job. You know, you remove all the illegals with the huts.
No, you got plenty more.
Throughout the Bahamas, he got a lot more to go, but he's done a hell of a job. He's done more than any other minister had done in the past. You know, and I give him full credit for that. He's done a wonderful job.
You all.
But
yes.
So to get the stadium ready, Thomas A. Robinson, you need to get them lousy ones you got in your ministry to go and give the Chinese to go ahead to finish the stadium, please. Time is going. I understand the Chinese now getting ready to pack up and leave because they're not getting no cooperation from the top echelon in the ministry. You need to deal with it, sir. Please.
Well, I'll tell you, fresh off the campaign feed is also about calling people out. So while we highlight how you are showing up on social media,
they hold up the Chinese.
What you're doing,
they've been holding up for the last year. Okay?
Yeah.
And they complaining to everybody.
Yes, listen, we're going to be doing that every week. I find it also funny and intriguing, also very, very heartwarming, like what we saw a moment ago. It all, just a whole lot that pulls you in and lets you see on the ground level, on a personal level, even something that's humorous, what many of the candidates are doing. I tell you, about 90% of them are all over TikTok and just showing you what they're about, and also a little bit about their personality as well. We'll get to more of that next week, and it's called Fresh Off the Campaign Feed. Stay tuned for that and keep a lookout for that. Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson, thank you both very, very much. It's good always seeing y'all, hanging out with y'all on a Friday. Don't go anywhere though. When we come back, we're going to tell you about a new resort that is up and coming in Black Point, Exuma. Back after this.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026. where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
Is turning 8 years old. 103.5 The Beat and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Beat Fest. It's a Bahamian musical experience on March 14th at The Pond. Doors open 7 p.m. sharp. Performing live, Shine, Stevie S, Mama D, Veronica Bishop, Funky D, all backed up by The Pond Band. Hosted by Joe Cools, 1K Gaza, and Jess Mo. Music by 103.5 The Beat DJ. Tickets available now at all Beauty Shack locations. General admission, $30. VIP, $75. Get your tickets early. Spots are limited. Sponsored by Mazzari International, The Plug, and The Beauty Shack. And of course, 103.5 The Beat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all continue to tune in. I'm always happy when I can share the great news of what's happening on Family Islands. We know that Exuma is one of those islands that has so many investments. In fact, it's one of the tourism hubs and preferred destinations of people from around the world. The waters are fantastic. It's really beautiful. Many of the keys have their own niche markets going on. And one of those keys, Black Point Exuma, right? A lot's happening. It's a thriving community. And right in the middle of what's happening, you all have seen and heard Black Point in the news recently as it relates to Samsung Key and the rest of it. But oh, no. There's something happening and development and construction going on right in Black Point. And Bahamians are at the center of this. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Glenn Roll. Glenn, good evening to you. It's great to have you here on Beyond the Headlines. And I know that you have some amazing news. You know, we talk about so much around Exuma, the keys and all that's happening. But in Black Point, there is a Bahamian who is doing amazing things and investing a considerable amount. And let me get this right. It is the Exuma Bay Resorts Marina and Golf Course. First of all, welcome to the show, and do tell us something about this amazing opportunity and project that is now in motion.
Thank you so much, Shanique. And of course, good evening, Bahamas. And what a wonderful opportunity. And Shanique, as you rightfully mentioned, this platform is known for the joy that it brings in sharing Bahamian stories in particular.
Yes.
And so we're excited about this opportunity to talk about Exuma Bay Resorts, Marina, and of course, Golf Course. Alan Jacob Smith, you would hear that name now, and perhaps you would hear
I
that
know,
for
I know the name.
generations.
Yes, I know the name very well. Yes.
You would hear that for generations yet to come. But Unique, if you would permit me just a few minutes, because I do believe Alan wanted to get this out because it's so important for him that when we talk about project, we really talk about the community of Black Point, as you mentioned earlier. And by community, I meant that Alan, his parents are not here, but certain values that they would have instilled in him. And by extension, not only parents, the elders of the community. It's a very tight-knit community in that regard. And so things like discipline, things like hard work was a part of what Alan Construct was about. And of course, at a young age, He would have had opportunities to really see the world, whether it be the business world by persons like Kenneth Corduroy or the Bushes, who were part of the persons who would have sort of exposed him by way of these luxury yachts. And so Alan was sort of brought up into that kind of environment, one of the youngest captain ever. And so I believe those are the type of upbringing that sort of brought him in.
So,
Go
Glenn,
ahead.
you are saying Alan Smith went from that exposure of being in the luxury yachting business and all the rest of that and getting a start there through to developing what we saw, because you should see, I don't know if you were able to see it just now, what
Yes,
we
I
saw.
was.
Okay, what we saw on the screen. That, first of all, is that Black Point?
That is Black Point. And of course, Black Point mean it's still very much a virgin island. But as you mentioned, what a time to share the story, right? Because so many other pieces are in place. And as I mentioned, haven't had that experience and exposure. But what is fundamental, and I think why this platform is so important, Alan wanted to equally demonstrate, notwithstanding what he saw in those arenas, that Bahamians like him can be developers of their own community. And so he would have had the privilege of seeing many persons from home develop boats, be a part of the cultural experience, build their own homes, restaurants, Airbnbs. And so what you're seeing really is a manifestation of a project that is not meant to compete against, but is meant to be a part. How do I complement these things?
Right.
How do I bring the world experience into a community that is considered a virgin, but yet you bring this sense of oneness together? And I think when people get to hear what this is about, the Exuma Bay project, and the support system is going to bring to the existing Airbnbs, the restaurants that exist, the church community, this is going to be what Black Point has been waiting for, and I say waiting patiently, because Alan understood.
Glenn, I want to say
that
this
it was
to you.
important to wait this out.
I think this is an ideal time. Last evening on the show, I hope you watched, but last evening on the show, I had the Minister of Tourism, who is also the Minister of Investments and Aviation,
Wow.
but get this though, he's also the Member of Parliament for Exuma and the Keys and Ragged Island. He talked about wanting to see stuff like this. So first of all, let's just because I will have to bring you back to hear more. But so Alan Smith already has other investments where he has people from Black Point employed already?
Alan Smith is already in motion. This has been a project. Remember, Shanique, he had to start from scratch. Road work was done significantly. He's already begun to shape what the model homes would look like as a part of the Golden Grove experience. So there's a part in terms of persons who want to find a place where they can rest and comfort. But Alan also understands that the community has to have a part in this. And so we're talking about constructions of homes for communities. We're talking about an inland marina area. We're talking about an opportunity to extend into a Gulf experience. People who know Black Point know that it's big enough to hold all of these things, but yet it maintain its sense of paradise. Like on the one hand, you have the depth of the ocean, and right across on the other hand side, you have the beauty of the beach and the depth of the water. And so when we talk about a place whose time has come, we're talking about the community of Black Point.
It really is stunning.
Alan gets to have a significant part of what that looks like.
It really is stunning. I did not know Black Point had what we saw on the screen, that was a part of Black Point. I know Exuma is stunning. We know Exuma is lovely. We know that. But I want you to talk about, because I know a little bit about Alan Smith. He has operate and own restaurants. I want to know, outside of even this resort, which I have to bring you back to talk about because you've not told us yet what the resort is, and the Exuma resorts and marina and golf course.
Yes,
but what is he doing now? Because he has made tremendous investments, I understand, in Black Point and empowering other Bahamians and also bringing opportunity there and assisting with that sort of one-on-one personal individual experience with as it relates to tourism.
Yeah. Well, as you mentioned, the timing could not have been better. You do have, as you mentioned, the Deputy Prime Minister, who is also the Minister of Investment and Tourism. So we have already constructed cottages there, for an example. You've already have interest from persons who find Black Point to be such a unique community in terms of the building of homes. You have significant amount of road work undergoing at this time as well. All of these things were part of what Alan brought into that regard. And so by this main extending into perhaps some of the existing infrastructure that is there. And so this time in terms of the airport, really lends itself to this project, Exuma Bay Resorts, Marina, and Golf Course, really taken off in a significant way. As a matter of fact, Shanique, since the launch of the rebuilding of the airport or the extension of the airport, significant interest have been shown in terms of, hey, we've got to come down. We want to be a part of what you're doing down there. But Alan wanted to make sure that this represents a reflection of not only what he's doing, but an extension of the community itself.
How will this impact because I imagine this is just the latest project of a series of projects he has done and is doing. How will this brand new Exuma Bay Resorts, Marina and Golf Course impact Black Point and the surrounding keys?
Well, as you mentioned, you know, the desire for Black Point, especially residents from Black Point, they've always had this sense of, we want to live right here at home. We don't necessarily want to go into other places. And so this provides that opportunity for them to be able to do that. One of the things that I think our listening audience ought to know is that the residents of Black Point has in a lot of ways affected some of the other keys. They've been a part of development, and now they have an opportunity to be a part of something that is their own, something that is a part of their own making. And so Alan, in his vision, wanted to ensure that this impact generations yet to come in terms of education, but also in terms of showing the world that we can do things world-class and be a part of what the new Bahamas and the potential that the Bahamas brings in this regard.
This is awesome. It's good to obviously see a homegrown face be a part of investment and development and ongoing opportunities in Exuma, in the nation, really. How does he feel about being a part of the fabric of what really continues to be a burgeoning Exuma?
One of the things that Alan is so proud of, you know, sometimes I think it's Denzel Washington that says all money is not good money, right? Alan was deliberate and intentional about what he wanted. He wanted generations yet to come to know that a person out of Black Point is motivated, inspired by what we can do. This is truly an empowerment for him. And so, you know, he would have called this morning and said, Phil, when you go on Shanique program, I know you're going to make us proud. And so that's what he is really about. He wants to see that building and the airport and the other stuff have the signature of what an ordinary person can do. And that lesson was passed on to him by the community in very different ways, both building, cultural expression. Now he gets to share a piece of what the Exuma look like with persons from around the world, and people are excited to be a part of what this project is going to be about.
I am sure they are. We are looking forward to hearing much more, Glenn, from you and anybody else who can speak on what's happening in Black Point proper, particularly as it relates to this, because we want to know, for example, you know, what's the status of this resort, the potential employment levels, the spin-off opportunities. We really want to hear more about that because we celebrate what's happening there as we do everywhere else. And so certainly invite you back to be able to just bring us up to date on what's happening there with the Exuma Bay Resorts, Marina, and Golf Course. Thank you very much, Glenn Roll. Thank you for joining me here.
Thank you so much,
and giving us a peek into what's happening on Black Point Exuma. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Of course, tonight I want to thank at the top of tonight's show my panelists Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson, and then of course Glenn Roll talking about Black Point Exuma. Really, really incredible what's happening there. And of course to all of you, thank you so much for tuning in. I am happy that you tuned in all week long, and I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening for the entire Beyond the Headlines team. I'm Shanique Miller. Have a blessed